Now, if you don't know who Emma Chamberlain is, she's kind of a hoot. She's famous 20-year-old online, became super big. Kind of everyone just fell in love with the general, like, vaguely depressed, vaguely goofy kind of style. It's hard not to find her amusing. She does a great job, honestly. You could say a lot of terrible things about anyone who gains a big following online. I'm not here to do that. She's a person of the internet, and that's kind of her vibe. And she has a specific niche, young white woman thing going for her that has its place, certainly. Wow. The video itself, though, what are we talking about here? Well, it's a funny concept for a video. It's kind of classic Emma Chamberlain. She made a video called I Baked Myself a Cake So I Wouldn't Cry on My Birthday. This is one of those videos that is, I think, so much more interesting as a concept and for what it reveals about all of us culturally than perhaps it was intended. So let's talk about how Emma Chamberlain baked herself a cake so she wouldn't cry on her birthday.
I've been known to cry on my birthday. I feel like every year on my birthday, I have a depressive episode.
Okay, so now we're getting into the part of the video where I talk about the hidden messages within the video, the misinformation, if you will. Which, by the way, if I didn't already say that, welcome to Misinformation, the channel where I talk about hidden messages in videos you like. Nailed it.
What else?
But as I get into the misinformation of it all, let me clarify that this is not a hit piece video. If you're watching this because you're getting excited that I'm gonna just be like shitting all over Emma Chamberlain, that's not what we're here for. We're here to break down some hidden messaging that I don't even think Emma Chamberlain intentionally put in this video, but it's there anyway. We are steeped in ideologies all the time through everything we do and think, and it's unavoidable, and it's worth talking about, especially when it's something that millions of people have seen. Capiche? Capiche. So the video opens, and here we are in, for lack of a better phrase right now, rich person kitchen. I think the first message here is kind of right in front of us, obviously. All right, Emma Chamberlain's got money, and that's always going to be kind of a backing of a lot of her videos. It's like, yeah, you shoot a lot of videos inside your fabulous home. It's hard to ignore the fabulous home you're in the whole time. And then, of course, a little product placement. And back to the video. We learn that Emma is about to turn 24, and birthdays depress her. She wants to, not be quite as depressed as usual. So
today, my birthday eve, I thought it would be a positive, uplifting activity for me to make myself a cake. Let's make a plan. First, we need to figure out flavor profile. Let's think.
The video is about it is a video about self, but in a way that is uniquely American, and I think accidentally critical of American selfhood and individualism. Emma Chamberlain starts this video alone. It is a shot of her alone. She wants no birthday party for herself, but she wants a birthday. At the same time that she is avoiding a celebration of self, there is an impulsive, maybe compulsive need for it. Visually alone in this house, and she's going to bake herself a birthday cake alone for herself to have on her birthday. It is somehow both sad, but also a little aggravating to watch someone be so totally self-obsessed in this moment. But then, because of my cultural standpoints as someone who grew up in the US, I'm also like, well, yeah, do a thing for yourself on your birthday, girl. It makes me feel almost embarrassed that I have that thought as I'm watching her go through this. She's created a kind of parody of the birthday in a way here. And I don't know if she knows that she's done it, but it's kind of chilling. while also feeling, like spot on, like you nailed it. So she goes through selecting her flavors, and then we begin her baking process. She pulls everything out, she sets everything up, she tells us she had a whole plan, a whole list of ingredients written out, and then she forgot to bring it to the grocery store when she went shopping, so part of this, she's just gonna have to wing it.
I am a little bit frightened that I forgot an ingredient because I made this like whole elaborate grocery list and then I forgot it at home.
Which is just very relatable. Regardless of the reason, baking is hard work, and we do see the struggle kind of unfold for Emma.
What are we doing?
But overall, the center of the video remains the same. Me.
Sorry, whoops. Where's my lemon extract? Where is it? 1 tablespoon. I know I should wash these. I have to wash these. Okay, hold on. It did not sound fun to wash them, but I'm glad I did. My conscience feels better about that.
Emma doesn't want to wash the lemons, but then she does and feels better. Her conscience is clear for this cake she's gonna eat herself. It's like, fine, I made the cake clean for myself. I didn't want to wash the lemons because it was lazy. So I had the selfish impulse to not wash the lemons, but then I had the selfish impulse to not get a disease. So, so I did wash the lemons. And I'm very proud of myself for really doing that. And now my conscience is clear. Pretty stellar stuff, honestly. I freaking love it. I feel like I'm being made fun of, like she's making fun of herself. This is a wild video. And then she does it again a little bit later when she talks about not eating the batter.
Not me. Not me, because I don't want to get salmonella. Unlike you freaks dipping your finger in there. No, it honestly looks good. I'm gonna eat every single last bite of this cake. Not one bite of it will be wasted because of how much work I'm putting into this. Baking is just so high effort, and to like make a mistake like that shit hurts. Like, I'm sad. But you know what? We shall not give up when things get tough in this life. It must motivate us to get back up and try again. And that is what I'm doing right now. But my goodness, it's tough.
But the self is worth the effort a lot of the time.
Come on, let's move on. Let's stop talking about it.
What I find fascinating about this video, in part, is that the underlying message is so limited and so contained to the individual. Emma Chamberlain effectively made a video that is making fun of how selfish and myopic Americans can be, even in their lonely, depressive states. And no American tradition, illustrates this better than our kind of culturally weird obsession with birthdays, which I am, certainly a part of in my own life. I mean, who doesn't love a birthday?
To be honest, I'm in a really fragile place.
Until, of course, her gift to herself is much closer to completion.
Everything's cool. Nice and thin. I'm gonna be honest, it's still a little bit hard.
And then as the video progresses, paradoxically, we find that selfishness can actually be our guide toward empathy sometimes, when you realize through your own difficulties that other people may have experienced those same difficulties in service of you at some point. God, it's genius.
If anyone has ever made you a cake from scratch, I want you to text them right now and say, you are the greatest person alive. Pause the video and do that if anyone's ever made you a cake from scratch, because this is the hardest thing I've ever done. I don't know why.
I might know why. Owning property at 23, might have a big effect on your worldview and what you think of as maybe difficult or not. Then we get into the final moments of the process. I assume the part that many bakers favor, decorating.
Listen, am I proud of it? No. I don't know what I'm gonna say on it.
Adding the pretty stuff. But to be honest, I'm a little distracted by how beautiful Emma Chamberlain's home is in the background of this scene to really pay that much attention. Then when the cake is done, Emma completes the bit and, lights her birthday candles and sits alone in a dark room and blows them out until there is darkness. And then in the darkness, we hear for the first time in the video her voice and the voice of her friend or partner, who we can presume has been there behind camera more or less the whole time.
It's so good.
Oh,
Yum.
That's like perfect.
That's a great cake. I love it.
I love this video. It's like an accidental study in American individualism and how it can breed selfishness and loneliness. The whole video is about Emma living in a world of comfort, focused on herself, celebrating the greatest form of that by dedicating that video to making a birthday cake for herself to celebrate herself, combined with the paradox of how lonely all of this is and looks and makes her feel. And the underlying message being that the pursuit of self-congratulation and fulfillment through comfort is a lonely pursuit. But also that each of us as individuals do deserve to be celebrated and to have community. And I really do love that you kind of have that twist at the end of this video where she has community. She is not alone, it turns out. Someone is there to eat the cake with her. The message is this weird myopic loneliness. Emma does spend the majority of this video alone in various big rooms in her house. This highlights her comfort, her individualistic success, but also the loneliness of that. To most, I think, birthdays tend to be a gift, or should be a gift from a community, from a family to an individual. It is not the celebration of self, it is the celebration of an individual. But here, Emma has to enact the entire ritual by herself, giving it to herself, being her own community. It's kind of dark. Do I think, she thought about her own video here with the depth I am applying? No. I don't think Emma Chamberlain sat down to make a video critically commenting on American individualism and how it made us into a bunch of myopically focused birthday bitches. But that message is definitely in here.
I just don't want to be depressed tomorrow.
All right, y'all. I'll see you next time for some more misinformation. I need to come up with a way to end these videos.